Alright, so let us go into details of unit 1 again. We have already studied concept of ores, ore deposits, ore minerals, gangue minerals, tenor of ores, and we have dealt in detail with all this. Today we will study metallic and non-metallic ore minerals. So various references have been used for this lecture also. Let us revise first. We have studied till now that an ore is an aggregate of minerals from which one or more minerals can be extracted profitably. Okay, and then we also said that it is a geochemical anomaly, whereas ore deposit is a well-defined mineral deposit that has been tested and found to be of sufficient size, grade and accessibility to be extracted, that is mined, and processed at a profit at a specific time. Okay, so earlier we had a very simple studied a very simple definition of ore deposit. You can also write this definition if definition of ore deposit is asked in your exams. So you already know what these deposits are, what an ore is. So let us go ahead. In unit 1 today we will talk about metallic and non-metallic ore minerals. Okay, we know that minerals are divided into metallic and non-metallic minerals depending upon the elements with which they are made, because elements, they have metallic or non-metallic properties depending upon their charge. Cations are usually said to be metallic, anions are usually said to be non-metallic because of their tendency of accepting or donating electrons, right? So these elements behave in a particular manner which makes them a metal or a non-metal. So we are going to talk about the minerals which are metallic or non-metallic, because minerals are themselves composed of elements. You have studied all this in detail in crystallography earlier in the classes in first semester. So you know all about this, so I won't go into the details of metallic, non-metallic elements. So minerals, they are divided into two types, metallic and non-metallic minerals, hence is the name of their ores also. So non-metallic minerals or non-metals are the minerals which as a rule do not serve as raw material for extraction of metal, right? So those minerals which do not constitute of metal are known as non-metals. Very simple. Whereas metallic minerals, they are composed of one or more than one metallic element. Okay, so if we see the difference between metallic and non-metallic minerals, then metallic minerals are those in which metal elements are present in the raw form, whereas in non-metallic minerals the metal substance is not present. If we see in the metals, metallic minerals are melted, a new product is formed, whereas in non-metallic minerals you don't get any new product. In metallic minerals, they are found both in igneous and metamorphic rock formations, whereas non-metallic minerals are often found in young fold mountains and sedimentary rocks. Metallic minerals are good conductors of electricity as well as heat. Non-metallic minerals are usually insulators. Metallic minerals have high malleability and ductility because of the property of metal, and non-metallic, they break down easily and they are not even malleable. Then metallic minerals, they generally have luster. The metallic luster is the basic physical property of a metal. Likewise, metallic minerals also have luster. Non-metallic minerals are usually dull. They don't have shine like a metal. As you have seen, gold will shine, right? Whereas a dolomite may not shine. So if we see the deposition of various minerals all over India, we can see for metals like iron, manganese and chromium, we have their occurrences majorly in the peninsular region, in the cratonic region. If we see distribution of copper, again here we can see that these deposits are not reserved only in the cratonic part, but they are also found in the Himalayan region. Okay, here you can see that how copper and zinc are associated together, and you can also see how majority of copper deposits are present and minority of copper deposits are present. Okay, if we see the distribution of lead and zinc deposits in India, lead and zinc are usually found associated with copper. So there are various regions where we find lead and zinc. Likewise, various gold deposits are also present in India. In fact, in the Pithoragar region also, near Askot, gold deposits are found here also. If we see the occurrence of non-metallic deposits, there are various non-metallic deposits like dolomite, phosphorite, diamond, kyanite. Okay, all these are found all over India in various places. I hope you must have seen all these maps in the junior classes when you were in school. You must have made these maps. You usually get them in the atlas, right? So here you have to learn the names of these places. But in the next unit, we will study that how these ores are formed. Okay, here I am just introducing you to what non-metallic minerals are, what metallic minerals are, and where do they occur in India. In the earlier class, we have already discussed about the occurrence of various minerals with respect to tectonic regimes. Okay, so if we see the list of common ore minerals for gold, we may get native gold in the form of placers. We have discussed placer in the earlier classes. We may get them as calaverite, that is, gold is associated with another mineral, another element, sorry. And then silver, we get it as a native form, or as argentite, we get it associated with another element. Likewise for iron, we get it in the form of magnetite. There is iron associated with another element. Okay, likewise for copper, we may get nuggets of copper, pure copper, or we may get them associated with another elements. Okay, so in terms of association of an element with different other elements, they form various ores. Likewise, lead, zinc, tin, nickel, chromium and others, they are seen associated with different other elements, and they form a definite chemical composition from which, on the basis of ore processing methods, we can extract the metal. While extracting the metal, all the elements which are not useful for us in terms of metals or non-metals, they are known as gangue minerals. So you may get oxides, carbonates, sulfates and others as gangue minerals. Sometimes quartz associated with gold may be present as a gangue mineral. Otherwise, quartz is also useful economically. Okay. So you have a complete list of all these minerals which are said to be gangue in some cases, but sometimes these are also useful. Okay, so today we learned about what non-metallic and metallic minerals are, and how these metallic and non-metallic ores are spread all over the Indian subcontinent. So for your assignment, you will have to make few of maps with the occurrences of various ores. I'll give it in the word format to you. So you prepare those maps, and you have to learn that at various places within the Indian subcontinent, where do we find various metallic and non-metallic minerals. Okay. Now this is what we studied in terms of spatial occurrence, but we should also know it in terms of time. When we are studying stratigraphy, then we study about various deposits present all over the space, and we deal with them in respect to the time in which they get deposited. For example, the cratonic part of Indian subcontinent, it has various Archean rocks, and it is worth noting that various Archean rocks, they have number of metallic deposits. Okay, when you will see other deposits also, here I am just giving a glimpse of few occurrences. So the cratonic area has a lot of metallic deposits. Okay, I hope you must have studied about cratons. If not, then we will study in detail in the next classes here. Let me know if you want to go into detail of that. So we get various minerals present in the rocks of Archean and Proterozoic period, that is the Precambrian period, when the earth was in its early stages. So how are these formed, and where are these found, and at which time were they formed? It is not that you start getting a ore suddenly within 1 or 2 days. It takes time for the ore to get deposited. So there is a concept of metallogenic provinces, those areas where metals are found. Metallogenic epochs, those specific time periods when these metals got deposited. Okay, so this is not written as a part of your syllabus, but it has to be understood. We will try to go into the depth of all this also. So I have introduced you to metallogenic epochs, metallogenic provinces, what metals are, what non-metals are, what are the metallic and non-metallic minerals, and how they occur within the Indian subcontinent. So today I have also provided you with a textbook by Umeshwar Prasad. Okay, this is a book of economic geology, economic mineral deposits by Umeshwar Prasad. You have to follow this book throughout. So let us see the contents of this book once. So you see here that you will get introduced to what the purpose of this of studying economic geology is, how the elements are distributed, and what do you mean by geochemical affinity. That means some minerals are present in some places, and why does it happens that way, what are mineral deposits, what are metallic and non-metallic deposits. Okay, then the processes of formation of minerals, unit 2 is completely in this chapter. There are various processes which are responsible for formation of minerals. They may be magmatic, sedimentation process, metamorphic process. So we will study about all these also. And then mineral paragenesis, that means which mineral is formed when and how do they get zoned. Within this you can also understand about how metallic epochs and provinces are identified, okay, and what are the criteria which control the occurrence of mineral present in some area. Then the different metallic mineral deposits are dealt in detail one by one. And then non-metallic minerals, they are studied in detail here, they are present in detail here. Okay. So these first two chapters, this one, the process of formation of mineral deposit, and mineral paragenesis and zoning, these two are very important. Okay, you have to understand these two very well. I will be using a lot of material from these two chapters only, because there are not very attractive colorful diagrams here, so I will use diagrams for from other sources also. Then you can see how ores are formed. It is written in great detail here. We will discuss all this. Various processes of formation of ores are here, that will be in unit 2. Okay, and a very important thing which we have to note is the presence of Gosan. We will come into all this. So these are shown in very simple manner here, and in unit 3 you can see how the metallogenic epochs are defined. There are chiefly 3 metallogenic epochs: the Precambrian, the late Paleozoic, the late Mesozoic. So we will study this in unit 2. So how these are defined with respect to the geological time scale, I'll tell you about all that. And then major occurrences in India are written here, okay, which areas are specifically containing a definite mineral. So these are written here. So these chapter 1 and chapter 2, chapter 2 and chapter 3, these are very important, both these chapters. And then comes the classification. There are many here, and metallic mineral deposits, and you should study chapter 1 to chapter 3. Okay, these chapter 1 to chapter 3 is very important. You have to go through all this, and I will use lot of part from here. So this is the reading material which I am giving you. Go into chapter 1 and chapter 2, 3 and 4. These chapters are very important. Okay, after this you will see metallic mineral deposits. So gold is discussed in detail, that how it occurs and how it is found. So you have this in the next units, where you have to write in detail about what gold is and how it occurs. So we will use various details from these chapters only. Okay, so go through this book. This is a good book. All right then, thank you for your patience, and please feel free to ask questions.